You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, do like and subscribe. Question is, a security engineer identified a new server on the network and wants to scan the host to determine if it is running an approved version of Linux and a patched version of Apache. Which of the following commands will accomplish this task? Now see the options as option A, B, C and option D. Correct answer is option C. Question is, given the following output, during which of the following activities was this output most likely obtained? Option A, website scraping. Option B, website cloning. Option C, domain enumeration. Option D, URL enumeration. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a penetration tester is testing input validation on a search form that was discovered on a website. Which of the following characters is the best option to test the website for vulnerabilities? Option A, comma. Option B, double dash. Option C, single quote. Option D, semicolon. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a penetration tester wants to perform reconnaissance without being detected. Which of the following activities have a minimal chance of detection? Choose two options. Option A, open source research. Option B, a ping sweep. Option C, traffic sniffing. Option D, port knocking. Option E, a vulnerability scan. Option F, an Nmap scan. Correct answer is option E and option F. Question is, a penetration tester has obtained root access to a Linux-based file server and would like to maintain persistence after reboot. Which of the following techniques would best support this objective? Option A, create a one-shot system. D, service to establish a reverse shell. Option B, obtain /etc/shadow and brute force the root password. Option C, run the nc-e/bin/sh bracket command. Option D, move laterally to create a user account on LDAP. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of CompTIA based questions from the link provided in the description. Question is, a penetration tester is scanning a corporate lab network for potentially vulnerable services. Which of the following Nmap commands will return vulnerable ports that might be interesting to a potential attacker? Now see the options as option A, B, C and option D. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a mail service company has hired a penetration tester to conduct an enumeration of all user accounts on an SMTP server to identify whether previous staff members' accounts are still active. Which of the following commands should be used to accomplish the goal? Option A, vrfy and expn. Option B, vrfy and turn. Option C, expn and turn. Option D, rcpt, to and vrfy. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a penetration tester has obtained sell access to a Windows host and wants to run a specially crafted binary for later execution using the wmic.exe process called create function. Which of the following OS or file system mechanism is most likely to support this objective? Option A alternate data streams. Option B PowerShell modules. Option C MPV steganography. Option D PS EXEC. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, do like and subscribe. Our question is, a security company has been contracted to perform a scooped insider threat assessment to try to gain access to the human resources server that houses PII and salary data. The penetration testers have been given an internal network starting position. Which of the following actions, if performed, would be ethical within the scope of the assessment? Option A exploiting a configuration weakness in the SQL database. Option B intercepting outbound TLS traffic. Option C gaining access to host by injecting malware into the enterprise wide update server. Option D leverage a vulnerability on the internal CA to issue fraudulent client certificates. Option A establishing and maintaining persistence on the domain controller. Correct answer is option B. Question is, a penetration tester received a .pcap file to look for credentials to use in an engagement. Which of the following tools should the tester utilize to open and read the .pcap file? Option A Nmap. Option B Wireshark. Option C Metasploit. Option D Netcat. Correct answer is option B. Question is, a company becomes concerned when the security alarms are triggered during a penetration test. Which of the following should the company do next? Option A halt the penetration test. Option B contact law enforcement. Option C deconflict the penetration tester. Option D assume the alert is from the penetration test. Correct answer is option B. Question is, a penetration tester conducts an Nmap scan against a target and receives the following results. Which of the following should the tester use to redirect the scanning tools using TCP port 1080 on the target? Option A Nessus. Option B Proxy chains. Option C OWASP Zap. Option D Empire. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of CompTIA based questions from the link provided in the description. Question is, the following line numbered Python code snippet is being used in reconnaissance. Which of the following line numbers from the script most likely contribute to the script triggering a probable? Option A line 01, Option B line 02, Option C line 07, Option D line 08, Option E line 12. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a new client hired a penetration testing company for a month-long contract for various security assessments against the client's new service. The client is expecting to make the new service publicly available shortly after the assessment is complete and is planning to fix any findings except for critical issues after the service is made public. The client wants a simple report structure and does not want to receive daily findings. Which of the following is the most important for the penetration tester to define first? Option A, establish the format required by the client. Option B, establish the threshold of risk to escalate to the client immediately. Option C, establish the method of potential false positives. Option D, establish the preferred day of the week for reporting. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a penetration tester ran the following commands on a Windows server. Which of the following should the tester do after delivering the final report? Option A, delete the scheduled batch job. Option B, close the reverse shell connection. Option C, downgrade the SVSA account permissions. SVS account permissions. Option D, remove the tester created credentials. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, do like and subscribe. Our question is, a red team tester has been contracted to emulate the threat posed by a malicious insider on a company's network, with the constant objective of gaining access to sensitive personal files. During the assessment, the red team tester identifies an artifact indicating possible prior compromise within the target environment. Which of the following actions should the tester take? Option A, perform forensic analysis to isolate the means of compromise and determine attribution. Option B, incorporate the newly identified method to compromise into the red team's approach. Option C, create a detailed document of findings before continuing with the assessment. Option D, halt the assessment and follow the reporting procedures as outlined in the contract. Correct answer is option C. Question is, which of the following should a penetration tester consider first when engaging in a penetration test in a cloud environment? Option A, whether the cloud service provider allows the penetration tester to test the environment. Option B, whether the specific cloud services are being used by the application. Option C, the geographical location where the cloud services are running. Option D, whether the country where the cloud service is based has any impeding laws. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a client wants a security assessment company to perform a penetration test against its hot site. The purpose of the test is to determine the effectiveness of the defense that protect against disruptions of business continuity. Which of the following is the most important action to take before starting this type of assessment? Option A, ensure the client has signed the SOW. Option B, verify the client has granted network access to the hot site. Option C, determine if the failover environment relies on resources not owned by the client. Option D, establish communication and escalation procedures with the client. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of CompTIA based questions from the link provided in the description. Question is, which of the following documents describes specific activities, deliverables, and schedules for a penetration tester? Option A, NDA. Option B, MSA. Option C, SOW. Option D, MOU. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a new security firm is onboarding its first client. The client only allowed testing over the weekend and needed the results Monday morning. However, the assessment team was not able to access the environment as expected until Monday. Which of the following should the security company have acquired before the start of the assessment? Option A, a signed statement of work. Option B, the correct user accounts and associated passwords. Option C, the expected time frame of the assessment. Option D, the proper emergency contacts for the client. Correct answer is option C. Question is, which of the following protocols or technologies would provide in-transit confidentiality protection for emailing the final security assessment report? Option A, S/MIME. Option B, FTPS. Option C, DNSSEC. Option D, AS2. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a penetration tester ran a command during an unknown environment test and it returned a 128 TTL packet. Which of the following OSs would most likely return a packet of this type? Option A, Windows. Option B, Apple. Option C, Linux. Option D, Android. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, do like and subscribe. Question is, which of the following provides a matrix of common tactics and techniques used by attackers along with the recommended mitigations? Option A, NIST SP 800-53. Option B, OWASP Top 10. Option C, MITRE Attack Framework. Option D, PTES Technical Guidelines. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a software company has hired a penetration tester to perform a penetration test on a database server. The tester has been given a variety of tools used by the company's privacy policy. Which of the following would be the best to use to find vulnerabilities on this server? Option A, OpenVAS. Option B, Nikto. Option C, SQL Map. Option D, Nessus. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a large client wants a penetration tester to scan for devices within its network that are internet facing. The client is specifically looking for Cisco devices with no authentication requirements. Which of the following settings in SODAN would meet the client's requirements? Option A, Cisco iOS admin plus 1234. Option B, Cisco iOS no password. Option C, Cisco iOS default passwords. Option D, Cisco iOS last modified. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a penetration tester conducted a vulnerability scan against a client's critical servers and found the following. Which of the following would be recommendation for remediation? Option A, deploy a user training program. Option B, implement a patch management plan. Option C, utilize the secure software development lifecycle. Option D, configure access controls on each of the servers. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of CompTIA based questions from the link provided in the description. Question is a company has hired a penetration tester to deploy and set up a rogue access point on the network. Which of the following is the best tool to use to accomplish this goal? Option A, Wireshark. Option B, Aircrack NG. Option C, Kismet. Option D, Wi-Fi. Correct answer is option B. Question is a penetration tester has gained access to a network device that has a previously unknown IP range on an interface. Further research determines this is an always-on VPN tunnel to a third-party supplier. Which of the following is the best action for the penetration tester to take? Option A, utilize the tunnel as a means of pivoting to other internal devices. Option B, disregard the IP range as it is out of scope. Option C, stop the assessment and inform the emergency contact. Option D, scan the IP range for additional systems to exploit. Correct answer is option D. Question is the results of an Nmap scan are as follows. Which of the following would be the best conclusion about this device? Option A. This device may be vulnerable to the heartbleed bug due to the way transactions over TCP/22 handle heartbeat extension packets, allowing attackers to obtain sensitive information from process memory. Option B. This device is most likely a gateway with in-band management services. Option C. This device is most likely a proxy server forwarding requests over TCP/443. Option D. This device may be vulnerable to remote code execution because of a beta overflow vulnerability in the method used to extract DNS names from packets prior to DNSSEC validation. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, do like and subscribe. Question is an Nmap scan shows open ports on web servers and databases. A penetration tester decides to run WPS scan and SQL map to identify vulnerabilities and additional information about those systems. Which of the following is the penetration tester trying to accomplish? Option A, uncover potential criminal activity based on the evidence gathered. Option B, identify all the vulnerabilities in the environment. Option C, limit invasiveness based on scope. Option D, maintain confidentiality of the findings. Correct answer is option C. Question is which of the following is the most common vulnerability associated with IoT devices that are directly connected to the internet? Option A, unsupported operating systems. Option B, susceptibility to DDoS attacks. Option C, inability to network. Option D, the existence of default passwords. Correct answer is option A. Question is a compliance-based penetration test is primarily concerned with option A, obtaining PII from the protected network. Option B, bypassing protection on edge devices. Option C, determining the efficacy of a specific set of security standards. Option D, obtaining specific information from the protected network. Correct answer is option C. Question is a company obtained permission for a vulnerability scan for its cloud service provider and now wants to test the security of its hosted data. Which of the following should the tester verify first to assess this task? Option A, whether sensitive client data is publicly accessible. Option B, whether the connection between the cloud and the client is secure. Option C, whether the client's employees are trained properly to use the platform. Option D, whether the cloud applications were developed using a secure SDLC. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of CompTIA based questions from the link provided in the description. Question is a penetration tester has gained physical access to a facility and connected directly into the internal network. The penetration tester now wants to pivot into the server VLAN. Which of the following would accomplish this? Option A, spoofing a printer's MAC address. Option B, abusing DTP negotiation. Option C, performing LLMNR poisoning. Option D, conducting an STP attack. Correct answer is option D. Question is a tester was able to retrieve domain users' hashes. Which of the following tools can be used to uncover the user's passwords? Choose two options. Option A, Hydra. Option B, Mimikatz. Option C, Hashcat. Option D, John the Ripper. Option E, PSEXEC. Option F, Nessus. Correct answer is option B and option E. Question is a company's corporate policies state that employees are able to scan any global network as long as it is done within network hours. Government laws prohibit unauthorized scanning. Which of the following should an employee abide by? Option A, company policies must be followed in this situation. Option B, laws supersede corporate policies. Option C, industry standards regarding scanning should be followed. Option D, the employee must obtain written approval from the company's Chief Information Security Officer CISO prior to scanning. Correct answer is option D. Question is during an engagement, a consultant identifies a number of areas that need further investigation and require an extension of the engagement. Which of the following is the most likely reason why the engagement may not be able to continue? Option A, the consultant did not sign an NDA. Option B, the consultant was not provided with the appropriate testing tools. Option C, the company did not properly scope the project. Option D, the initial findings were not communicated to senior leadership. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, do like and subscribe. Our question is a penetration tester who is performing a physical assessment of a company's security practices notices the company does not have any shaders inside the office building. Which of the following techniques would be best to use to gain confidential information? Option A, badge cloning. Option B, dumpster diving. Option C, tailgating. Option D, shoulder surfing. Correct answer is option B. Question is a penetration tester conduct an assessment on a web server. The logs from this session show the following. Which of the following attacks is being attempted? Option A, clickjacking. Option B, session hijacking. Option C, parameter pollution. Option D, cookie hijacking. Option E, cross-site scripting. Correct answer is option C. Question is during a penetration testing engagement, a consultant performs reconnaissance of a client to identify potential targets for a phishing campaign. Which of the following would allow the consultant to retrieve email addresses for technical and billing contacts quickly, without triggering any of the client's cybersecurity tools? Choose two options. Option A, scraping social media sites. Option B, using the WHOIS lookup tool. Option C, crawling the client's website. Option D, phishing company employees. Option E, utilizing DNS lookup tools. Option F, conducting war driving near the client facility. Correct answer is option B and option C. Question is a penetration tester wants to scan a target network without being detected by the client's IDs. Which of the following scans is most likely to avoid detection? Please see the options as option A, B, C and option D. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of CompTIA based questions from the link provided in the description. Now the question is a penetration tester found the following valid URL while doing a manual assessment of a web application. Which of the following automated tools would be best to use next to try to identify a vulnerability in this URL? Option A, SQL map. Option B, Nessus. Option C, Nikto. Option D, DIR Buster. Correct answer is option B. Question is which of the following tools would be most useful in collecting vendor and other security relevant information for IoT devices to support passive reconnaissance? Option A, SODAN. Option B, Nmap. Option C, Wave. SCARABNG. Option D, Nessus. Correct answer is option B. Question is a penetration tester wrote the following script to be used in one engagement. Which of the following actions will this script perform? Option A, look for open ports. Option B, listen for a reverse shell. Option C, attempt to flood open ports. Option D, create an encrypted tunnel. Correct answer is option A. Question is a security professional wants to test an IoT device by sending an invalid packet to a proprietary service listening on TCP port 3011. Which of the following would allow the security professional to easily and programmatically manipulate the TCP header length and checksum using arbitrary number and to observe how the proprietary service responds? Option A, Nmap. Option B, TCP dump. Option C, SCAPI. Option D, HPing3. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, do like and subscribe. Question is a penetration tester discovered a vulnerability that provides the ability to upload to a path via directory traversal. Some of the files that were discovered through this vulnerability are Which of the following is the best method to help an attacker gain internal access to the affected machine? Option A. Edit the discovered file with one line of code for remote callback. Option B. Download .pl files and look for usernames and passwords. Option C. Edit the smb.conf file and upload it to the server. Option D. Download the smb.conf file and look at configurations. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a penetration tester ran the following command on a staging server. Which of the following command could be used to download a file named exploit to a target machine for execution? Now see the options as option A, B, C and option D. Correct answer is option D. Question is, in an unprotected network file repository, a penetration tester discovered a text file containing usernames and passwords in clear text and spreadsheet containing data for 50 employees, including full names, roles, and serial numbers. The tester realizes some of the passwords in the text file follow the format. Which of the following would be best action for the tester to take next with this serial underscore number information? Option A. Create a custom password dictionary as preparation for password spray testing. Option B. Recommend using a password manage/vault instead of text files to store passwords securely. Option C. Recommend configuring password complexity rules in all the systems and applications. Option D. Document the unprotected file repository as a finding in the penetration testing report. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of CompTIA based questions from the link provided in the description. Question is, a penetration tester is working on a scoping document with a new client. The methodology the client uses including the following: pre-engagement interaction, scoping and ROE intelligence gathering, reconnaissance, threat modeling, vulnerability analysis, exploitation and post-exploitation reporting. Which of the following methodologies does the client use? Option A. OWASP Web Security Testing Guide. Option B. PTES Technical Guidelines. Option C. NIST SP 800 115. Option D. OSSTMM. Correct answer is option B. Question is, a penetration tester exploited a unique flaw on a recent penetration test of a bank. After the test was completed, the tester posted information about the exploit online along with the IP addresses of the exploited machines. Which of the following documents could hold the penetration tester accountable for this action? Option A. ROE. Option B. SLA. Option C. MSA. Option D. NDA. Correct answer is option D. Question is, a penetration tester who is conducting a vulnerability assessment discovers that ICMP is disabled on a network segment. Which of the following could be used for a denial of service attack on the network segment? Option A. SMURF. Option B. Ping flood. Option C. Fraggle. Option D. Ping of death. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, do like and subscribe. Question is a company recruit a penetration tester to configure wireless IDS over the network. Which of the following tools would best test the effectiveness of the wireless IDS solutions? Option A Aircrack NG. Option B Wireshark. Option C Wi-Fi. Option D Kismet. Correct answer is option A. Question is which of the following web application security risks are part of the OWASP Top 10 V 2017? Choose two options. Option A buffer overflows. Option B cross-site scripting. Option C race condition attacks. Option D zero-day attacks. Option E injection flows. Option F ransomware attacks. Correct answer is option A and option B. Question is given the following code. Which of the following are the best methods to prevent against this type of attack? Choose two options. Option A web application firewall. Option B parameterized queries. Option C output encoding. Option D session tokens. Option E input validation. Option F base 64 encoding. Correct answer is option B and option D. Question is a penetration testing team is conducting a physical penetration test to gain entry to a building. Which of the following is the reason why the penetration testers should carry copies of the engagement documents with them? Option A as backup in case the original documents are lost. Option B to guide them through the building entrances. Option C to validate the billing information with the client. Option D as proof in case they are discovered. Correct answer is option D. Question is which of the following describes the greatest concern about using third-party open source libraries in application code? Choose two options. Option A the libraries may be vulnerable. Option B the licensing of software is ambiguous. Option C the library's code base could be read by anyone. Option D the provenance of code is unknown. Option E the libraries may be unsupported. Option F the libraries may break the application. Correct answer is option A and option C. You can download the complete list of CompTIA based questions from the link provided in the description. Question is a consultant is reviewing the following output after reports of intermittent connectivity issues. Which of the following is most likely to be reported by the consultant? Option A. A device on the network has an IP address in the wrong subnet. Option B. A multicast session was initiated using the wrong multicast group. Option C. An ARP flooding attack is using the broadcast address to perform DDoS. Option D. A device on the network has poisoned the ARP cache. Correct answer is option D. Question is a penetration tester conducted a discovery scan that generated the following. Which of the following commands generated the results above and will transform them into a list of active hosts for further analysis? Now see the options as option A, B, C and option D. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, do like and subscribe. Our question is, which of the following should a penetration tester do next after identifying that an application being tested has already been compromised with malware? Option A. Analyze the malware to see what it does. Option B. Collect the proper evidence and then remove the malware. Option C. Do a root cause analysis to find out how the malware got in. Option D. Remove the malware immediately. Option E. Stop the assessment and inform the emergency contact. Correct answer is option D. Question is, a penetration tester finds a PHP script used by a web application in an unprotected internal source code repository. After reviewing the code, the tester identifies the following. Which of the following tools will help the tester prepare an attack for this scenario? Option A. Hydra and Crunch. Option B. Netcat and CURL. Option C. Burp Suite and DIRB. Option D. Nmap and OWASP ZAP. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a penetration tester is looking for a vulnerability that enables attackers to open doors via a specialized TCP server service that is used for a physical access control system. The service exists on more than 100 different hosts, so the tester would like to automate the assessment. Identification requires the penetration tester to have a full TCP connection, send a hello payload vault for a response, send a string of characters longer than 16 bytes. Which of the following approaches would best support the objective? Option A. Run nmap PNSV script vuln within bracket IP address. Option B. Employ an OpenVAS simple scan against the TCP port of the host. Option C. Create a script in the LUA language and use it with NSE. Option D. Perform a credentialed scan with Nessus. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of CompTIA based questions from the link provided in the description. Question is, a penetration tester needs to perform a test on a finance system that is PCI DSS v3.2.1 compliant. Which of the following is minimum frequency to complete the scan of the system? Option A. Weekly. Option B. Monthly. Option C. Quarterly. Option D. Annually. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a penetration tester logs in as a user in the cloud environment of a company. Which of the following PSU modules will enable the tester to determine the level of access of the existing user? Option A. IAM underscore enum underscore permissions. Option B. IAM underscore privacy underscore scan. Option C. IAM underscore backdoor underscore assume underscore role. Option D. IAM underscore brute force underscore permissions. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a penetration tester is testing a web application that is hosted by a public cloud provider. The tester is able to query the provider's metadata and get the credentials used by the instance to authenticate itself. Which of the following vulnerabilities has the tester exploited? Option A. Cross-site request forgery. Option B. Server-side request forgery. Option C. Remote file inclusion. Option D. Local file inclusion. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, do like and subscribe. Question is, a company that requires minimal disruption to its daily activities needs a penetration tester to perform information gathering around the company's web presence. Which of the following would the tester find most helpful in the initial information gathering steps? Choose two options. Option A, IP addresses and subdomains. Option B, Jones transfers. Option C, DNS forward and reverse lookups. Option D, Internet search engines. Option E, externally facing open ports. Option F, Sudan results. Correct answer is option A and option B. Question is, which of the following are the most important items to include in the final report for a penetration test? Choose two options. Option A, the CVSS score of the finding. Option B, the network location of the vulnerable device. Option C, the vulnerability identifier. Option D, the client acceptance form. Option E, the name of the person who found the flaw. Option F, the tool used to find the issue. Correct answer is option C and option F. Question is, a penetration tester run the unshadow command on a machine. Which of the following tools will the tester most likely use next? Option A, John the Ripper. Option B, Hydra. Option C, Mimikatz. Option D, Cain and Abel. Correct answer is option A. Question is, user credentials were captured from a database during an assessment and cracked using rainbow tables. Based on the ease of compromise, which of the following algorithms was most likely used to store the passwords in the database? Option A, MD5. Option B, bcrypt. Option C, SHA-1. Option D, PBKDF2. Correct answer is option A. Question is, in the process of active service enumeration, a penetration tester identifies an SMTP daemon running on one of the target company's servers. Which of the following actions would best enable the tester to perform phishing in a later stage of the assessment? Option A, test for RFC-defined protocol conformance. Option B, attempt to brute force authentication to the service. Option C, perform a reverse DNS query and match to the service banner. Option D, check for an open relay configuration. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of CompTIA based questions from the link provided in the description. Question is, running a vulnerability scanner on a hybrid network segment that includes general IT servers and industrial control systems. Option A will reveal vulnerabilities in the Modbus protocol. Option B may cause unintended failures in control systems. Option C may reduce the true positive rate of findings. Option D will create a denial of service condition on the IP networks. Correct answer is option B. Question is, a penetration tester would like to obtain FTP credentials by deploying a workstation as an on-path attack between the target and the server that has the FTP protocol. Which of the following methods would be the best to accomplish this objective? Option A, wait for the next login and perform a downgrade attack on the server. Option B, capture traffic using Wireshark. Option C, perform a brute force attack over the server. Option D, use an FTP exploit against the server. Correct answer is option B.